Walking Dead, where evil lurks in every shadow and monsters roam the streets. Mankind's only survival rests in the hands of two Welsh warriors, armed with boomsticks, chainsaws, bad language. These beacons of hope will stop at nothing to obliterate deadites, vampires, psychotic nurses. So, hold tight, strap in, and let the professionals take charge. Otherwise, you're in for a rough, blood-soaked night.
Hey, welcome to the show. How's it going?
All right, boys.
We're with from Movie Squirm, Jordan. How's it going, buddy?
Yeah, all right, mate. Thanks, Jenkins and Curtis for having me on. Been looking forward to this all week, to be honest. So glad it's finally happening. I'm so happy to be on this channel because I'm quite a big fan of it. So
appreciate that.
Legend.
Same
Thank
here.
you, pal.
You got an awesome channel where you got Movie Squirm and Worm. Is that right?
Yeah. I started Movie Worm about 3 or 4 years ago.
Yeah.
And I made the kind of mistake of trying to do everything on that channel. Like, I was doing reactions to Line of Duty every week. I was doing movie reviews, TV reviews, Blu-ray. And in the end, I thought, you know what, I really just love horror and I just want to do horror, to be honest. So
yeah,
the Movie Worm channel is basically just physical media now, but my Movie Worm channel, Movie Squirm channel is just basically all horror, and that's the genre I love most. So,
have you?
I've seen your background on those videos. Obviously, you've got a shit ton of physical media, which I love. Huge collector myself.
Yeah.
I
this
have
isn't my background usually. Just because the kids are upstairs in bed, that's all.
So have you had people jump from your other channel onto the horror? Like, have you got just completely start from scratch?
I don't know how many have jumped over, to be honest. I've shared it about a few times, but there's like close to 600 subscribers on the Movie Squirm one now. I have got a few returning people who are in the comments usually and stuff like that, so it's nice to see them people, watching both your channels, of course.
Yeah, that's when you know you made it, when people just tuning in for you and not that you're talking about Freddy 5 or something.
Yeah. I mean, I've made a lot of good friends in the YouTube community, to be honest. I've actually met up with a few people in the past, and everyone's just like as nice as they are on the camera and stuff. And you think, oh, are they going to be different today? But no, everyone's just really, the personality is usually the same when you meet up with them, and it's always great to make new friends and stuff like that. So I've really enjoyed the journey. Sorry, Curtis?
That's what it's all about, isn't it? Meeting people.
Yeah.
I find it great that people happy share like wisdom and stuff. They'll just give you advice. It's not like competing with each other and holding back information. Because people can watch multiple things. It's not like you're just going to watch this and that's it. You can watch anybody you want, and that's what I love about it.
Leave Ralph alone now, will you?
He was in shot earlier, and he's not in shot now. Look, he's a classic. It's of my time. He was out in the 80s, and he's rare.
Don't tell anyone your age, Jenks.
2 killer backgrounds, then, so you've got there, though.
It's not as good as yours. I got to say, I like the. Is it pepper on the top shelf? Or is it...
I don't know what that is. They're my wife's decorations.
Props from movies, isn't it? That's what it is. Some horror movies, yeah.
Yeah, we'll just say that plant is from. Is it Creepshow, the Stephen King movie?
Yeah,
that's the salt shaker from Terrifier 2 when he comes in the bedroom.
And it's off the Evil Dead, this hand.
Oh yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Tell you what, I'm struck lucky with that background now that I think about it.
Yeah, it's perfect. It's minimalistic as well, isn't it? It's like we've just got loads of crap in the back. You got specialized like props.
Straight from the movie sets.
Yeah. Right then. So I think this is our 10th show now, Kurt. Some of the guys, isn't it?
10th live show, I think. Yeah,
I think
10.
we're proper veterans.
We did miss a week. I did last Sunday where we didn't go live. I did shed a tear at 7 o'clock.
Yeah, it's quite weird, isn't it?
R.I.P. Like, yeah, it was strange. Let's read a few comments. We got a few people here. Evening all, lovely to see you back. It's good to be back.
Yes.
We've got Dawn. Hello everyone. I hope you're having a lovely weekend. Lovely weekend. Thank you, Don. We've got my main man, Jordan Moran. Oh, that sounded good, didn't it?
Oh, he's like a
Evening,
proper
pal.
radio DJ then. He sounds as slick as Darren then from the
Twisted
Twisted Lock.
Slaughtered Lamb. Twisted
Slaughtered Lamb, yeah. I'll
Oh,
read it.
we've got Ella Star. Hi everyone, happy Sunday. Hi boys, good to have you back. Ah, thank you, Ella. And we've got Ab Palf. Hey guys. Hi Ab.
Awesome.
Oh,
Cool. Right. Yes. So we're going to do Stephen King because they're out of ideas. We've already done.
This was Jordan's idea, and because we've been doing genres, I didn't think of doing like directors or movies by a certain person. So it's a cracking idea.
Yeah.
I didn't think of it like.
It was because we've done found footage now. Well, we did zombies and we've done ghosts, and I think it's hard to do like a really specialist one. When you need someone, you can gather like at least 20 odd sort of picks, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely.
So we got 20 picks. 1 second. We have 20 picks. So we got Jordan to pick his favourite 10, and then we kind of made up the numbers because Stephen King's got so many iconic ones. It's obvious that our top 10s are going to be pretty similar, and I think we just filled in the blanks with a few others. But so we have got. Bear with me now. So first up, so 1 second. Sorry. So we got 4 categories. The worst one is don't go down there. It's a line.
You got to do the voice, Jenks. You got to
Don't
do
go
the
down
voice.
there. It's a line from like Pet Cemetery with Judd with the dungarees, and I think
I'll go down now.
Don't go down there. It's probably not even the right line. But I used to make fun of that all the time as a kid. And then he was on South Park, that character. Have you seen it?
Yeah.
Yes, somebody else has noticed how bad that neighbour is.
I love John Crandall, man.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Have you noticed, though, in the remake, they kind of rectified that? Have you seen the remake, Jordan?
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember I went to see the remake and I was like, please speak like Jug Crandall does in the original. And when he didn't, I was just like, no, I don't like this movie.
No, it's crap. And did he have dungarees on? No, I can't remember.
I can't quite remember myself. I must admit, though, on rewatch, I actually like that a lot more on rewatch. But not having the Jug Crandall accent that first time, I just couldn't think of anything else while the film was happening. So.
No, I rewatched it recently as well, and I think it's all right. I think people shit on it quite. They shouldn't really. It's relatively decent remake, I think.
Yeah. It didn't
there's not
help
that much
giving
wrong
all
with
the
it.
spoilers away in the trailer. Like,
yeah.
Mm.
But I didn't like the Bloodlines. That was shit.
I haven't watched it. I haven't watched it yet. No.
Did you see that, Jordan?
yeah, I've seen Bloodlines. It was okay. I didn't love it. I prefer Pet Cemetery 2, to be honest. I don't mind that film.
Yeah.
Bloodlines wasn't great.
Yeah, and the best thing about Pet Cemetery 2 is you got Clancy Brown in it as a zombie, and he's so good. He's the horrible sheriff or something, isn't he?
Yeah,
That's
he's just having the time of his life in that film.
It's quite an underrated sequel. I haven't seen it since the 90s, so it may be shit if I rewatched it, but I do remember loving it. I think I used to own it. Have you seen it, Kurt?
Yeah, I've seen the original one. Yeah, it's got John Connor.
Yes,
Edward
that's right.
Furlong. Yeah,
Yes.
I've seen it.
So all these films, all these Stephen King picks are all good. So when they go at the bottom, it's not because they're shit. It's just it's not as good as the top one. There's no shitty ones. Your Maximum Overdrive's not your fucking The Night Flyer or something. It's all good stuff. So don't go down there. Don't go down there. Then we've got They All Float.
Do the voice, Jenks.
Which one? I'm not doing
They All Float.
Yeah. You could do a Kurt. You do a good voice.
No, I'm all right.
We got then the next one up. We got Dirty Bird. It's a line from Misery. And then we got the classic one, the top end. Here's Johnny. Kind of like it's kind of like giving it away of where these films are going to go on the list. Especially here's Johnny. I was going to do something like King Kong, King of the Hill, and I was like, nah, we'll stick with something else.
Well, at least they're all Stephen King related.
Yeah. I think Curtis convinced me other way, so I think he was probably a good call.
You from the northwest, Jod?
Yeah, from Liverpool, mate. Yeah, just lived here all my life, to be honest. So
It's a battle of the accents again, I'm afraid.
yeah. Sorry about that, everyone.
You know, yeah. Right.
John Lithgow never be forgiven for slapping Bigfoot.
I just love that film.
Hey, we got batshit crazy in here as well now. Hiya, mate, how you doing?
Batshit scary.
What did I say? Crazy.
Yeah, come on.
Oh, I just automatically went to crazy
No,
because that's the quote in it. Come on.
Right, are we ready?
Catch
Are you ready, Jordan?
Yeah.
Yes, let's do it. Let's do it.
Okay, so first up we have Christine.
You got to say John Carpenter's
John
Christine, please.
Carpenter's Christine. Have you seen it, Jordan?
Yeah. One of my favourites, this one. I think it was in my top 10 when I sent you it. Great movie. Just John Carpenter's fingerprints all over it, isn't it? With the score and stuff like that, yeah. It's a great movie. I don't know if you guys want to talk about it first, but or do you want me to just say what I think?
Whatever.
Yeah. What I really like about this is it's got the whole character arc, isn't it? Of Arnie is his name. Where he's like a little geek in school sort of thing, and then he sort of, as the car, he sort of takes over his personality, really, doesn't it? And then he becomes like a bit of an arsehole, to be honest. I hope it's all right.
He gets the girl.
Yeah, you can swear. You can swear. Yeah. I swear all the time.
And so like the way the car basically gleams even more red as it's sort of taking control of Arnie. It's a massive, great character arc, I think. So that's my favorite thing about the entire film is the transition of Arnie from start to finish, really.
Yeah, it's got a little bit of like a symbiote thing, like when Spider-Man has this black suit.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of, and like with the Lord of the Rings, when you put the ring on, it kind of takes on it makes you stronger, more confident, and everything. And it's like, and you can't get rid of it, then, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely.
I didn't get on with this one that much when I was young. I was really into Jason, Freddy, all these big horror monsters. Now, I wasn't that interested in a killer car, but obviously I didn't appreciate a good film when I was a kid. But growing up watching this movie then, and just appreciating obviously the master John Carpenter and what he brings to a film, this is easily in my top 5 favourite Stephen King adaptations. It's absolutely class. Like you said, John Carpenter has his fingerprints all over this when he brings actors back. He's got his score, he's got that cinematography and the way he tells his stories. It just fits in, even though it's an iconic Stephen King book, John Carpenter makes it his own. And it fits into his category of movies very well. I highly rank this one.
I like this film. I've seen it a few times. It's probably one of my lesser favourite ones. I don't think a car's that scary. It's up there with Chucky. Like, I just think, just go on the pavement. Just avoid it. Or go behind one of those, like, barriers. Or go inside the house.
There's literally a scene, right, where, and bear in mind now, right, Christine can do anything, right, but there's literally a scene where one of the guys that's running away from Christine goes down, like, a narrow alleyway. Yeah. And the car just fucking crushes itself to fit down the alley. So, if that's not terrifying, Jenks, I don't know what is.
But I personally, I'm going to want to stick this on the bottom one. Don't go down there.
Are you mental?
Look, we said that good ones are going at the bottom. There's too many good ones.
Right.
Okay?
It's probably, I'd go Dirty Bird. I'd go Dirty Bird. What about you, Jod?
Yeah, I'd be the same as Curtis, to be honest. I was thinking Here's Johnny, actually, but I think more Dirty Bird, just because we can't have too many on the top row, I suppose, if that's the way you want to do it. I don't know, but
of course.
I think it's like 6th in my top 10 or something. I'm happy to go there.
Right, I'm outvoted. Pick on Steve.
Oh, here comes the tears.
Just quickly as well, it's just like Stephen King does this a lot with just a simple concept, haunted car, and then makes a story out of it. It's just like you got The Shining, haunted hotel. He just makes simple concepts and expands on it, doesn't he?
Yes. Right. Next one up, we have Misery. Now, I'm going to kick us off. This is probably my favorite Stephen King movie ever. Kathy Bates is my favorite female villain. I love a female villain, and she's the top tier. The script is top notch. Oddly enough, I think Stephen King, probably all his thrillers and dramas tend to be better received than his horrors, like Shawshank and Green Mile, Stand By Me. And this is another one. I just fucking love this film so much. I love the sledgehammer scene. It's so much better than the book because she chops his foot off in the book. It's too much. But the sledgehammer, you build the music's playing, and even no matter how many times you've seen her put that block of wood down, you're still like, oh my God, it's horrible. I love this film. What do you think, Jod?
Yeah, I mean, I don't give too many films a 10 out of 10 when I think about it. Like on my letterbox, I think there's like 20 films I've given a 5 out of 5 to, but this is actually one of them. I watched it only for the first time about 3 years ago.
Really?
Yeah, considering I'm 36, I should have watched that well before that. It's just one I got to very late, and I can't see any problems with this movie at all. I had no negatives afterwards. I was like, this might be a 10 out of 10 for me. Absolutely love Annie Wilkes. She's just horrifying.
Yeah.
It's Stephen King doing what he does great in a lot of his stories, with the sense of isolation and stuff. And this guy, you just want him to get out the damn place, but you feel like even when he gets out, he's got nowhere to go. It's just isolated. Yeah. And when you're saying about that scene, Jenks, with the wood and stuff, that is a horrifying moment, and I always wince when it happens. But you know, when he first spills the soup, that's the moment that kind of gets me. I think that's the first moment you see her turn her personality a little bit, and you're just like,
oh my
God, yeah, this woman's crazy.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
I love the movie. It's just so well paced. It's fantastic, and I've got no negatives with it. I really haven't. And again, Stephen King likes to sort of tell stories about writers as well. So he's got 2 things that he does best there: talking about writers and talking about isolation, coming together very well, I think.
Yeah, I think this is the best, because he, like you said, he always has writers in his stories, and then sometimes they're just throwaway jobs. But in this one, it's really about a fucking writer, isn't it?
Yeah, she's forcing him to write all kinds of different things, isn't she? So
yeah, it's awesome. What about you, Kurt?
Oh, thanks. Jesus Christ.
Sorry, Kurt.
No, it's fine, pal, it's fine. No, what's truly great about this one is obviously Kathy Bates' performance as Annie Wilkes. And what's great about her is she is the least threatening person ever. You would walk past her in the street and she would look like the nicest woman in the world, and that's exactly how she should be. But soon as she turns, like you said, Jod, that first flip she gets, she becomes the most terrifying villain in cinema history, and she had a well-deserved Oscar for this film.
Yes.
Like you again, Jod, it's an absolute perfect movie. It is a 10 out of 10.
So are we all agreed, here's Johnny?
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah, definitely.
Awesome. Let's just read a couple of comments. 1 second. 1 second. It's on your face, sorry, I can't see. Hi, Johnny. Awesome. Hi, everybody. I don't. My neck of the woods. I think he's talking to you, Jordan.
She's from Hey Doc.
Hey Doc.
So for some reason, I just can't see the comments for some reason.
All right. Well, are you near Hey Doc? She's she's from your neck of the woods.
Yeah, I think that's might be a 30-40 minute drive. I think something like that. Not too far.
Oh, we're from Wales. That's too far away for us. That's a hotel, that is.
Love Christine, one of my all-time favourite movies. Yes, it is easily one of the best.
Yeah.
Christine has climbed my calendar rankings in recent years, maybe top 5.
Oh,
bold shout, but yeah, not a crazy one to be honest, pal.
Yeah.
Clamp Bear. Clamp Bear.
Yeah, that's good.
There was clamps weren't invented until the 90s. Sorry,
put a steering lock on it. Ah, bastards.
Squeezes in like a fat bird chasing a burger.
Brilliant.
We got some crackers today. Oh, ankle crunch. Ouch. Yeah, it's a nasty one, isn't it? Oh, Wolfman, are you speaking to us, or are you quoting Misery?
Yes. Oh, yes. Wolfman's got Nads, Barry. He's got an awesome channel over, and he's a top bloke.
Yeah, I watch Barry quite a lot, to be honest.
Yeah, he's got a great channel.
I agree with you there, Jod, to be honest. A concept lost these days, it seems.
Yeah.
We've got a few more. Totally agree about Misery, the best Stephen King. Yeah, and I haven't read many Stephen King books, but Misery is one of them that I've actually read.
Awesome.
Baby Reindeer made me want to watch Misery. Absolutely.
Yes.
There's a woman that's always at For the Love of Horror, right? And every year she comes dressed as Annie Wilkes. This year she came dressed as the woman from Baby Reindeer. And I was like,
amazing.
what?
That's awesome. Oh, fair play. That's amazing.
Even if sorry I'm late, but I'm here. Oh, it's not good enough, man.
I know.
It's not good enough, Ben. Thanks for jumping on.
Oh, hi, Hayley. Awesome. Right. Next up we have Cat's Eyes. Bit of a rare one. I stuck it on because I love this film, but it's one that's easily forgettable. It's not forgettable as a bad film. It's just people wouldn't pick this in their top 10 because it's kind of lost in time, I'd say. But it's got a great cast. It's got like Drew Barrymore. That's all I can think of, actually. Well, she's big, but she was a kid in it, I think. Yes.
And what's great about this one as well, if you remember, I don't know if you've seen Cat's Eyes, Jod, you've got the opening where you've got Christine going down the street and then Cujo running into a garden, and there's so many. It's like Castle Rock, like Stephen King's universe. It's amazing.
Yeah. I got onto some of them things when I was watching it.
Sorry, did you read this, Kurt? The misery woman from Love of Horror got married on stage one year. Oh my God!
So she's a proper regular then.
What a legend!
Fair play.
She was great this year. Got a picture. Oh, awesome. Right. So for me, Cat's Eyes. So do you say sorry, Jordan?
Yeah, I've seen this one. Yeah.
So I haven't seen it for years. I love the Little Monster one with Drew Barrymore. I love the smoking one with James Woods. I knew there's another film.
James Woods.
That's my favourite, isn't it?
Yeah, the smoking one. It's a great concept where these gangsters will say, look, we can stop you smoking, sign this, and they'll just do anything to stop you. They'll cut your finger off, they'll kill you, they'll hide in your wardrobe. Brilliant. But I can't remember. There's a pigeon story as well. And for the life of me, I forgot he's on the ledge. I forgot what that's about now.
Yeah. So he's I can't remember. Why does he end up out on the ledge? I can't even remember.
Is it something to do with gambling or something? Is he like betting on him to not fall off or something like that?
Yes, that's it.
He's the guy from Airplane, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah, that's a good one. I couldn't remember how we got out on the ledge though, but Nightmare Fuel.
Yes. For me, I would say probably bottom tier. Don't go down there. I'm going to do it every time.
Yeah, literally every time.
It's a great film, but I just don't think it stands up against all the other legends. I don't know. What do you think?
I'm really fond of this one. I would put it at They All Float. Now, I don't like it as much as some of the rest of the movies, but I think it deserves to be on They All Float.
What do you think, Jordan?
Yeah, I'm really only a massive fan of the first story with the smoking and stuff. The second one's okay. I know you said you liked it, Jenks, but I really didn't like that third story at all, to be honest. So for me, I would have to go bottom, even though I do think it's a decent anthology film. But when you're stacking it up against all the others, I think that's where I go. So don't go down there. That's what I put it.
Yes! Just got back from seeing Heretic. They showed the trailer for Osgood Perkins' adaptation of Monkey. I thought it looked good. The monkey looks amazing. It's meant to be ultra violent as well. I didn't like Oz Perkins' long legs, to be honest, but I'm hoping he brings it back and gets it done.
Yeah, there's a scene in that trailer on the monkey where it's like a pram's on fire or something.
Yes, yeah. The trailer looks bonkers.
What's going on there?
It does look good. And you got that Theo James, which he's been tipped to potentially be James Bond, but I don't think he wants to do it. Which I never thought about him before, and I think he'd be awesome. If you've seen The Gentleman, he's brilliant.
Yeah. I also seen Heretic today, and it is top class. Proper enjoyed it.
Yes, it is a good film. I didn't love it as much.
I'm terrified to watch it just because it's got Heretic in the title, because the last movie I watched with Heretic in the title was The Exorcist. It's the worst film I've ever seen in my life. So no, but it does look good. I think I'm going to see it through the week, one night this week. So.
Yeah, it is a good film. I didn't love it as much as I hoped, but I haven't got many bad things. Maybe the tension could be ramped up, but it is a good film and I would recommend it.
Yeah, I'm looking
Yeah, I
forward
don't know
to it.
what this is. It says paired, and it says jumped in the river. What did I see? And then it says I love you.
Is somebody hacked our site or something?
I have no idea.
Right. So next up, then we got 90s It. Now I know it's not officially
Yes.
a movie, but who cares?
Yeah, who cares?
It's
Who
our
cares?
live stream. It's our rules. Would you want to kick it off, Jordan?
Yeah, this is a film I grew up with. Watched it so many times as a kid. I know it's 3 hours long, but I did used to constantly rewatch it. I was just obsessed with clown horror movies at the time. But even when I watch it now, it sort of gets better for me, even though some of the effects and stuff are dated. I don't know. I just really appreciate the whole thinking of it. You know, where we go into each kid's background and stuff like that. The confrontation with Pennywise. I love the whole setting of Derry. It just looks like a great small town to live in, even though there's a monster coming every 27 years. But I love the characters. I love, even when the kids or the adults, I really have grown to like the second half of the movie as well now, even though a lot of people say it's poor and it's not good. I actually enjoyed the second part of the movie, apart from the final 10 minutes with the spider.
The spider.
But,
Yeah.
that scene always creeps you out where Beverly Marsh goes back to her old house and the creepy old woman's there.
It's so much scarier than the remake version.
Yeah.
Oh my God, yeah.
Definitely.
my
I don't know what
God.
they were doing in that remake with the whole CGI monster thing.
Do you think? Do you think like the director had like so much money to play with? He thought, "Fuck, we got too much money left over. We're gonna like a surplus of money. Let's just make a big CGI granny." Fucking shit.
The only thing that was great about that scene was before she comes in the room and you can hear the footsteps and the banging coming closer. But then soon as she comes through that door, it's like,
Yeah.
But the first part is top class. I love that film.
I agree with you, Jordan. Right, that bit when she goes back to her house and the father's like dressed up as a woman is so disturbing. And what creeps me out about that, when she runs away from her house and she looks back at a distance, my memory serves me, she's still standing by the door. Is that right? Or have I just imagined that?
I can't actually remember now if it's Pennywise when she turns around.
I could
Oh
be.
no, sorry. I think all the doors are just absolutely just locked, and it's like goes back to what it used to look like. I think.
Derelict, like an old
Yeah,
boarded
but I do
house.
remember like her running, and it's not chasing; it's just kind of standing there. But I could have been. I haven't seen him for years, but I just thought of something eerie about that. It's just not normal. But yeah, I love the original. I'm probably leaning towards the new one, but I don't like the second half of the new one. It's too much. It's too much CGI.
Yeah, I agree with you
I
on
love
that
Tim
one.
Curry in it as well, to be honest. So sorry.
No, it's all right, pal. Carry on.
No, I was just saying, I love Tim Curry's performance as Pennywise as well. The voice, the look of him, everything just worked for me. So.
And do you know what's crazy is that his makeup in it was meant to be a lot more elaborate, but because he had done the makeup on Legend where he played the devil, he refused to have big makeup because of the process he went through in that one, and ended up looking 10 times better. It's basic, it's simple, and it makes it much creepier.
Yeah.
But yeah, Tim Curry's performance now is one of the greatest horror performances of all time. Now, I do prefer the 2017 version, not the sequel. I prefer 2017 as a standalone movie to the original one. But that's not to say I don't love the original one. Tom Lee Wallace made it. He's obviously a John Carpenter legend, directed Halloween 3. Yes, top class. It's a shame. My only problem with it is that it was made for TV, and that means it had to be dulled down a lot on the violent side.
Yeah.
Obviously, if it was a movie, they could have gone a bit more out on it. But yeah.
Yeah. I agree with everything you said there, to be honest.
Yeah.
I think this person on the comments here is like hacked us or something.
Jumped in the river. What did I see? I love you, John.
I think it's some weird thing. Should we? I think. Anyway, yes, I love this original. Sorry, I'm distracted. You've got some weird person. I think we've been hacked by some weird, because it says paired. I don't know if you know what that means, Jordan. Quite new to this live thing.
That's fine. Let's move on. It's fine.
Yeah. That's how popular we're getting now. We're getting hacked. Yes, get in there. No one gave a shit about us a few weeks ago. Right, I love this original. It was. Do you know how you find? I don't know if you feel the same, John, but no, because it's like cheap TV, sort of lighting. It's a bit creepier, bit like
Yeah.
it's a bit like like Woman in Black, the old ITV TV drama. It's a bit creepier because it's cheaper. I don't know why that is.
Yeah,
That's
it just gives like
definitely
a
a thing.
vibe, doesn't it? Like, because it's been on TV, it just seems that gives it that airiness, I think.
Yes.
Mm.
But I'm going to stick this personally in They All Float.
Dirty Bird for me all day.
What do you, Jordan?
Yeah, I'd have to go Dirty Bird for this one. I love it. So
Yeah, fair enough. Okay, so next up, let me just read a few of these because they tend
So
to
is
build
Hugh
up.
Grant really creepy? I can't imagine him being creepy at all in Heretic. Well, the thing is, he plays himself, but because of what he's doing in the film, it makes him creepy. So he doesn't
Yes.
particularly do anything different to what he usually does.
Yeah.
But it's just the stuff that he does in it, you know?
Yeah, it's a little bit like what's his name? Not Jason Patrick. Oh, a guy from Mozart. I'm drawing a blank now. Jason Bates.
Bateman.
Jason Bates.
Jason
Okay.
Bateman. Jason Bateman. So he always plays the same character, but it depends what the role is. He can play straight as a comedy man or straight as a killer. And I think with Hugh Grant, he kind of does it, isn't he?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
It's Pennywise standing there in the Derrick building. There we are,
Right.
sorted about. It's nice one,
Yeah.
Gary.
Yes.
I
Okay.
have fond memories of being terrified of Pennywise when I was younger. I hated the remake. Also really looking forward to seeing Heretic. Yeah,
Okay.
it's everyone's nightmare growing up. I feel like it was that movie me and my friends dared each other to watch. And then after watching it, we went out into like marshlands looking for him.
Do you know the bit that was to creep me out as a kid? Is when I can't remember which character has lost his father in the war or something, and he looks across the river and his father's
father's
ghost is
there.
like, "Hi, son."
Yeah,
And
Ben
I
Hands
think-
coming in.
Yeah, but the hands is creepy. But just the waving shit like that always.
And then
creeps me
hasn't he
out.
just got Pennywise's legs at first? He's
don't
got the
remember.
baggy trousers on, and I think so.
He's holding like it's just him at first, and then I think he's holding a balloon, and then he gets like the buttons.
Yeah.
and then-
Yes, that's it. Yeah,
Slowly
yeah.
morphs into Pennywise, doesn't it? It's like it's just done very simply though, because the camera it's every time it cuts back, it's something
Yeah.
different, because that cheap TV budget. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because the illusion is some guy running as coming on quick. Do you know, like that's what was great about the remake, the first part, is in the library when that librarian is just standing in the back smiling.
Oh my God, yeah.
Do you
I
remember
didn't
that?
see that on my first few watches. It wasn't until I think maybe I was watching it at home and I'd already seen it like 3 times, and I didn't notice it because obviously you're watching, but looking through the book.
Yeah.
And then until you've seen a film a few times, your eyes start to wander around the frame then because I've seen that now. Let's have a look around the rest of the frame. And yeah, it's one of those scenes that just creeps up on you.
Yeah, I wonder that's where the influence of like smile came from, because she's smiling and she just in the background.
Like a menacing smile, definitely.
Right, next up we got The Dead Zone. Again, it's a great film, but it's not always on everybody's radar. I think they've actually remade it. No, it's a TV show I think they did.
Not that I'm aware of.
Yeah, I'm sure it's Michael something Hall, and the guy from Weird Science. He's in
Michael
Halloween.
C. Hall. Yeah. He played Tommy in Halloween Kills.
Halloween Kills, yeah. I'm sure he plays this TV show.
Oh, okay.
One of the weird
aware of that
characters
at all.
in the Halloween franchise.
Is he the sheriff or something? I haven't seen Halloween Kills. I didn't fancy it.
He's in
No, he
Tommy Doyle.
plays Tommy. He's
Right.
he's a grown-up character from the old ones.
Ah, okay.
He's just a local of Haddonfield.
Right.
I'm a huge fan of Dead Zone. Obviously, David Cronenberg is one of my favourite directors. I think this is one of the best Stephen King adaptations. It's horrific because it's so realistic. The villain is the president, and that's where the story goes. It's by far one of the scariest Stephen King adaptations. It's really dark and eerie. It's obviously got David Cronenberg's stamp. Huge fan of this one.
Oh, Cronenberg did it. I forgot.
Yes, yeah.
Yes, it is a good film. I do love sort of time travel-y, sort of psychic things, and it's a really good one. I love Christopher Walken.
And do you know there's a scene where Chris Walken is in a flat and there's a map of Wales behind him.
Is it?
I don't know the connection, but there's a scene where there's a map of Wales.
I love the way you call him Chris, and as if you know him. Big Chris.
Big Chris. What do you think of this one, Jod?
Yeah, I really like this film, mate. I love how it's like kind of a low-key superhero movie, really. I mean, just the way he's got this new ability, and it goes from like sort of the girls in the house about to die in a fire, and then he looks in someone's past, and it slowly goes to saving the world, really, doesn't it? Because he stops the president. I've got to say, one of the biggest movie jerks ever is what's his name? Martin Sheen, is it?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
The president.
Yeah.
Oh man, his character is just horrible, isn't he?
Yeah. He's
it's a great performance.
And he plays the president as well in the West Wing, innit?
Oh, I haven't seen that, to be honest.
What's the West Wing?
It's a TV show.
All right.
With Rob Lowe and
Big up the Wales map. Yes.
Yeah, I think. So, what do you think? I'm gonna say they all float. It's a really good film, but I don't know. There's better ones for me.
I would put this one on. Oh my God, it's tough. There's so many awesome ones left. I'd say they all float. Now, I'm a big fan of the movie, but compared to some of the other ones, I'd probably rate it a little bit lower.
Yeah, I'll probably go there as well, to be honest. I mean, it's just outside my top 10, I say. So, yeah, I'll go there.
Hey, that's the first time we've all voted the same. Oh, no, Misery was the top one, yeah.
Yes.
Right, next up, we have...
Sorry, Barry.
Next up, we have The Running Man. Now, that was your choice. Now, I was aware that it was based on Stephen King's book, but I kind of always forget this is connected to him. It's not. I haven't read the book, but I'm pretty sure it's nothing like the book.
It's a short, I think. Yeah, I think it's a short novel.
No, it's a proper book. It's Richard Bachman, and isn't it?
Yeah, I think it goes under the name Richard Bachman. I mean, I'm not an expert on his books or anything. I've only ever read one Stephen King book, and that was it. I got halfway through the canon and stopped for some reason. It's something I really want to do is go back to reading and get into his books a little bit. But I've just actually watched The Running Man today, just for a little bit of a refresh, and it's just such a fun film. I like the way it's set in 2017.
And that's past now, yeah.
But you know what's mad about that film was that it's got like the same kind of story as The Hunger Games and things like that, but it's done in like about 85 minutes. And that film, that series took about 4 films to get to the point.
Definitely, yeah. But yeah, it's a great concept. I love. It's like a little play, like. What do you call it? What is it when you... something on society, like it's called a joke about society, because all these people are just happy to be watching this game show where people are killing each other, basically. I can't think of the word, I'm sorry.
It's like trash TV in there, like just eating up trash TV. Yeah,
basically. And the TV presenter, Killian, man, oh my God.
He's a real one, isn't he?
Yeah, I think he was a real presenter in real life, yeah. I was looking him up yesterday, just as a little bit of background, but yeah, I just hate this guy so much. Like, you want Arnie to come and sort of get his own back on him, and some of Arnie's one-liners in this are fantastic as well. Like, Killian's main thing is, it's showtime, and at the end where Arnie runs in to get him, he just goes, it's showtime.
Do you know what's scary with this film is that all the deep fake things they use in it to frame Arnie, it's real. You could do it totally now, isn't it?
Yeah. The way the government's just manipulating everyone with that little tactic, it's crazy.
It's way ahead of his time.
I watched this for the first time last year, I think. I was very late to the party on this one. It's a very good film, but watching it for the first time at my age now, I didn't love it. I think it's a really good, cheesy Arnie action movie. But it's a good film. I'm looking forward to Edgar Wright's remake. I think Glenn Close, fucking hell. Scott Glenn.
Glenn Close.
I was trying to think of his name today, and Glenn Close came into my head as well.
Who's replacing Arnie?
Yeah, come on.
I forgot his full name.
Glenn Close.
No, my friend and I were watching Running Man the other day, and there's a scene in it, where they're all gambling, taking bets on the street for. I always, as a kid, they'd be like, "Who's keeping track of all those little slips?"
Whose
So
whose money belongs to who, like?
Hang on, I give you 10 quid. Oh, I don't remember that.
I thought that myself when he was just grabbing all the bets off him.
You could just lie. I give you loads of money, you lying bastard.
It's not as well. It's not as well organised as Cabin in the Woods, is it?
No. For me, I'm going to stick it on They Float. I love this film. It's a funny one. Again, I disconnected to Stephen King. Maybe I'm just judging because I love Annie. No, do you know what? I'm going to put it at the bottom because it's because with the Edgar Wright films coming out, it's not a remake. It's actually more of a true adaptation of the book. So kind of like, it's nothing to do with the Annie one. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
It's a bit like, the Andy Machetes, I pronounce his name. Yeah. It's another.
Director.
Yeah, it's not a remake of the TV show. It's a new adaptation. So I'm going to stick at the bottom. What do you think, Jordan?
I would probably go with They All Float, only because I enjoyed it even more watching it again today. But weirdly, even though it's ahead of its time and stuff, I do think it might benefit from a remake, to be honest. But
yeah,
definitely. I'd go bottom of the pile, but you two have got They All Float, so yeah.
I changed my mind. I stick it on the bottom.
Oh yeah, I'd go bottom.
Okay, I lose.
Oh my god, this comment just tickled me now.
Well, gonna be hacked again, have we?
No. Glenn Close would get leathered in that competition.
I don't know, man. I don't know. Have you watched fucking Fatal Attraction? And she's still quite feisty.
I just watched in that new movie Brothers with Josh Brolin and what's his name? Tyrion from Game of Thrones.
What's his name?
Peter Dinklage.
Peter
Dinklage. Quite enjoyable, but she's quite good in that, to be fair.
Yeah, she's.
What is the guy's name? Sorry, who's going to be taking over Arnie's role?
Glenn Close.
I was going to say Glenn Close.
Scott Glenn.
He's in Top Gun 2. Top Gun 2.
Yeah, I know who he is, but I forgot his name.
Yeah.
Scott Glenn, yeah.
Is it Scott Glenn?
Scott Glenn, yeah.
Is it? Yeah,
I don't think
Scott
so.
Glenn, yeah.
No, it's not. No, it's Glenn Powell.
Glenn Powell.
Who's
Glenn
Scott
Powell.
Glenn then? Who's this Scott Glenn? There's too many Glens
Are
now.
you saying Scotland or Scott Glenn?
Oh, I don't know. We're saying Glenn too much.
All right,
And
let's move on. Glenn Close. Have we put it somewhere? Yeah, at the bottom. Okay.
Glenn Gary, Glenn Ross.
Right, let's fucking move on. Jesus. Right. We've got now Silver Bullet. Right, I'm going to confess something. I haven't fucking seen this. The only one I haven't seen.
Oh my God, Jenks.
I'm going to step away. You can decide.
Right, I'll kick this one off, right? Do you know what's the best thing about this movie is that they made Gary Busey seem like a cool uncle. Somehow they pulled it off. But every time I watch this film, I'm like, fuck, I wish he was my uncle. And that's nuts. But this, to me, I would absolutely put this in my top 3 favourite Stephen King adaptations of all time. This is one I've got great memories with growing up. I remember, right, back in the day where you had VHS, you didn't have access to movies like you do now. And I remember, right, my auntie had recorded it on a VHS tape. And I remember coming over my house and giving it to me. And it was the first time I watched it. I must have been about 9. And it blew me away. It's got such a great story. It's got that great Stephen King vibe. All the characters are great. You've got Corey Haim. He's fantastic in there. The werewolf's awesome, and it is by far one of my favourite Stephen King adaptations. I would put this one top of the pile.
Why haven't I seen it? I don't understand.
It doesn't make any sense, Jenks.
Yeah.
It doesn't. You were literally knocking about when this was in cinema.
I've seen Legally Blonde about 6 times, so how come I haven't seen this once? Doesn't make any sense.
I literally watched it 2 weeks ago. Before we'd even thought up this video, because it's just one I love. I go back to it all the time. What about you, Jord? Are you a fan of this one?
Right, Jenks, you're not really alone. I have seen it, but I only watched it for the first time this week. Just never got round to it. And I absolutely loved it, Curtis. I've actually just ordered the 4K because I liked it that much. I can tell it's gonna be one I go back to constantly. Like you said, all the characters are great. Like I love how silver bullets are what sort of kills werewolves, but he incorporates that into Corey Haim's wheelchair, and that's the name of his wheelchair, Silver Bullet. So it sort of messes around with the whole sort of story, really, a little bit there. But like you said, Gary Busey's great in this. He is the cool uncle, isn't he?
He's so likeable. He's so likeable in there. It's nuts.
I love it when he does his wheelchair up and he's giving like the sort of knots, if you like.
Doing 60 flying down the road, like.
Yeah.
And it's
Everett McGill's great in this as well.
What's great about it as well is that it's got a kind of murder mystery feel to it.
Yeah, definitely. Because
you know what I mean?
Like someone killer going around, don't you? And like all the time freaking out and stuff. And that's what I liked about it, the build up. Basically.
Yeah, of course. And we don't know who the killer is. We don't know who's turning into this werewolf. And no one in town can take him down. But somehow a little kid in a wheelchair does it with the help of his uncle. But yeah, I love this film.
Yeah, I mean, it's not spoiling anything, Jenks, I don't think, because it's in the opening scene, but it was just like, holy shit, like someone's head just gets taken clean off.
Boys, you convinced me.
Opening scene, Jod. Someone's head gets taken off.
That's what I mean, yeah.
I think sometimes if you kind of miss the party, where, you know, if you haven't seen it in the 80s, sometimes watching now is a bit of a slog. But I think the fact you've just watched it and you're going to buy it, unless you got terrible taste, Jordan, I'm going to give it a go.
Yeah, definitely give it a go, man. I know what you mean there when you get to movies late. There'll be one that we're going to talk about soon, which I feel the same with. But when you get to movies late and you weren't there at the time, but I really enjoyed it, and I think I'll definitely return to this movie. So
yeah, because I stuck on Evil Dead 2 for my wife a couple of years ago. She goes, "What the fuck is this shit?" I was like, "What? Are you fucking mad?" And I thought, yeah, it probably is crap for a non-horror fan and somebody who wasn't watched it in the 80s.
Hey, it's not as bad as showing your girlfriend street trash.
Right, let's read a couple of these. Paul Henry, 3 of my movies still haven't been mentioned at the bottom of my top 10 of all time. Be kind now, guys. We'll try our best. We'll try our best. Right. So next up, oh no, you haven't decided. Sorry.
Right. It's for me. It's going at the top. I don't know about you, Jod.
Oof.
As much as I loved it, I think I'd probably put it in the second tier. Dirty Bird. Sorry. Sorry to mess it up, but that's where I'd probably put it. I just don't think it's top tier.
What we did last time, right, is that when there was only 2 of us to see there, I think there was someone in the comments that acted as the third person. Can someone just say, "Here's Johnny"? Just write in "Here's Johnny" in the comments so we can go at the top, please. Someone who likes me more than Jenkins.
Curtis. I'm not right, Curtis. I think it should go.
Say my name one more time.
To Jordan now, because he's our guest star. Yeah, come on now.
Oh, don't make me feel like a naughty kid, Jenks.
Come on now, pity.
Fucking hell.
Where's it going? Come on, make a decision.
Right. Yeah, it can go Dirty Bird. That's fine.
Sorry, man.
You should.
No, don't apologise.
Don't apologise to him. Yeah, never apologise.
Can I just say, right, that Jenks is nice to me until we've got guests. He's an absolute asshole to me when we got guests. It's like he's showing off for something.
Showing off. My mother's just saying to shut me up. Stop showing off. I'm not. Oh, Don. I'm gonna. Too late. Right. Next up we have Green Mile. Oh, right. I'm gonna kick this off. I fucking love this film. I watched it the other day. I think it was on TV, and every time it's on, I'll just watch it. And you know that's a good movie when you don't care if you've seen it a few months earlier. If it's on and it's 3 hours long, it almost feels like a mini series, but you don't care. It's like you're binging your favorite mini series, and it is top class. I love this movie. What do you think, John?
Yeah, it's unbelievable. It is my number 1 on my list of Stephen King films.
Oh, fair play.
I absolutely love it. I know we're going to speak about Shawshank in a minute, but it's absolutely crazy to me that Frank Darabont made this and The Shawshank. Like you said there, when you're watching it, you've got to watch it, haven't you? If it's on TV or whatever, it feels like a 90-minute movie to me when I'm watching it. It just flies by.
Yeah,
I'm never bored. It's never dull. I love the whole emotional feel to it. I love the score where it really sort of gives you goosebumps and stuff. The characters are great. Even though they're on death row and the bad people, you kind of feel sorry for them. And it's got a great villain who comes in the third act. And I forgot his name.
Sam Rockwell.
Sam Rockwell's character.
Sam Rockwell is so good in this film.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
And I don't think he was a star at this point.
No, that's the first thing I saw him, and I fell in love with him. I thought, fuck, this guy's awesome.
When I went back to rewatch it, I was like, oh my God, I know this character well, but I didn't know it was Sam Rockwell, because obviously I know him more now.
Yeah.
But I love this film. What's crazy about it is Stephen King wrote this. They were short novels, and they were released weekly or monthly, I believe.
Yes.
Monthly, one a month. And he was releasing them before he'd even finished the book. And I think they were like 2 or 3 issues in that had been released, and they signed off the rights to make the movie, and they started working on it straight away before Stephen King had even finished writing it. That's how impressive this movie is. And yeah, it's by far one of the best films and books. I imagine I haven't read the book that Stephen King has got his name attached to, definitely.
Yeah, and I think, like, because it came out in 99, and I think obviously TV wasn't such a great place to have something compared to now. And I think if it was made now, I think it would have been like a 10-parter or something, definitely. But at the time, people were willing to sit through a 3-hour movie, and I'm so glad it did, because I saw on the big screen, loved it.
Back then, they would have cinema breaks, wouldn't they? Because I remember seeing films when I was a kid that were long, and we had breaks. You went out into the foyer and you went to the toilet and stuff. Yeah, I've been to see loads of films where they had breaks. I don't know if it was a worldwide thing, but yeah.
Yeah, if you watch The Godfather 2, in the middle of the movie, even on the Blu-ray, it says something in the middle, like, I can't remember the word, but it's like a break. And then it's green black for a minute, and then...
Intermission,
that's it, yeah. My mind just goes blank when I'm on live streams.
Of course.
Yeah. I just want to quickly say about this film, though, you know, Percy in it, man, he is horrible.
He's so good.
He's great in the film, but you hate him, don't you? And when he goes like that to Edvard Delacroix, what is it, Mouseland or something? Ain't such a place. They just made this shit to make you feel better. Made it up to make you feel better. I was like, man, the guy's about to die, and you just can't let him die with that little thought in his head, can you?
Percy is so well cast. Like the cast in that movie is incredible. But you just you don't only you sort of sympathise with the people, even though a lot of the murderers, you sympathise. You also want to work there, because the way Tom Hanks runs is sort of the mile. It's like, I want him as my boss. Like, he's such a fair boss. And it's, you know, most of the time when you watch a film that's set in the 1920s or something?
I think so. 30. Might be.
But you usually think, oh my God, I'd hate to live in those times. But it makes that time doesn't seem as bad as sometimes you see it, you know?
Yeah,
do you know
more simple times.
The scariest thing about this film is Tom Hanks's UTI. There's nothing scarier than that.
Oh, with his urinary infection.
There's nothing scarier.
Because you
think razor blades.
Yeah, horrible.
It's crazy at the end as well, man. Like where he just says, "I'm 131 years old" or something. Yeah. I'm like, oh my God. So
I'm going to stick this at the top. Here's Johnny. Are we all in agreement?
Definitely for me. Yeah, yes, definitely.
That's an easy one. Okay, next up we have The Mist, another Frank Darabont one. Just a coincidence. And do you know what? It's kind of grown in popularity. That when this first came out, wasn't that well received. Very bleak ending, and it was. But over time, I think people have kind of fallen in love with this film, and it's got Dawn of the Dead elements to it. With this, I think he was quite influenced by it, apparently, with the supermarket, all people stuck in the supermarket, and it's a cracking film.
This is a great one, and my only problem with this film now is that I remember it coming out as a huge fan. I've always thought it was great. The only problem though is the CGI. It hasn't aged very well, and to me that's a shoot the ass is worse, Curtis. I doubt that. I've never had shoot the ass, but I doubt that. So that's my only problem with the film is that I don't want to look into it too much because it's a product of its time. But on rewatch now, I don't connect with it as much because the CGI is dated a bit.
I really like it. I saw the TV show, and when I first stuck the TV show and I didn't like it, and I rewatched the TV show, it's fucking brilliant. I got cancelled
Yeah,
though.
I was gutted when that got cancelled.
Yeah.
And then do you know when you put time into something and then it gets cancelled?
Yeah, it was
You
going
always
somewhere.
regret. Yeah, you always regret it.
Yeah. What do you think
Is
of
the
this,
T-
Jordan?
Is the TV show, by the way, is that all like in the supermarket as well, or is it in different parts?
It's a bit different because what's in the mist is a little bit different to just general monsters.
Okay.
I can't remember everything about it, but I do remember thinking they went in a different direction. And I have forgotten a lot about the TV show now because it kind of blends because it's not.
It's got Alyssa Sutherland in it though from Evil Dead Rise.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Yes. I would recommend it, but it obviously ends on a cliffhanger and you just never see what happens. But I did enjoy it.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I like this movie. I don't love it, but it's a good 7.5 out of 10 movie for me. I think it's a good concept. Stephen King doing Isolation once again there, and I really think the ending is like one of the greatest but bleakest endings of a movie ever. I think it's kind of, you laugh, but it's awkward laughing because you're like, you can't help but think, is that really just happened there? Is he going to wake up? Is this going to be a dream? And you realise it's real and you're like, oh my God. But the woman, the religious woman in this, I can't stand her character. Like, she really annoys me. And every time she speaks, like, I'm like that with a lot of religious characters in movies. If they're like shouting the odds and trying to get their point across with their beliefs and stuff all the way across the movie, with a very extreme, I kind of don't really like them characters. Not that I don't like religious people or nothing. It's just when they go to
It's preaching in it.
Yeah.
Preachy
And
people.
she's kind of like that in this film, and she just really grates on me. But apart from that,
my problem is
like
that there's characters that you love to hate and you enjoy seeing them, you enjoy, watching them. But there's some characters out there you're just like, I don't care if you weren't in the film. Get out.
Yes, I know what you mean. I am. She is a scary character because she's so influential on the group. But I suppose with like somebody like Homelander, he's a fucking awful person, but you can't wait till he's on screen. That's the difference.
Yes, exactly. And he's 10 times worse than her.
Yeah.
But it's like kind of like Percy in the Green Mile. He's great, but in this, and you don't mind him. But in this, I really don't like her. And
I see what you mean.
Yeah.
It's like what's her name from Midnight Mass? The ginger one.
Oh yes, have you seen Midnight Mass, Jordan?
I've never seen it.
It's so
I've
good.
heard it's great.
It's so good. Oh, we've got Eli Cortez. Thanks for jumping on, pal.
Awesome. Cheers, buddy. Right, so what do you think then? I'm going to probably stick this at the bottom. It's a great film, but it's not one of his classics.
I'd go They All Float, I think.
I would probably go bottom as well, to be honest. I do like it, though. I do like it.
Yeah, of course. Someone's got to go bottom.
Right. Okay, so next up we have... Oh, well...
Should we just like not review this one or talk about it and just chuck it up the top?
If you want.
I'm going to say I'm not a big fan of The Shining. Now, hear me out. No, I'm joking. Yeah.
Hear me out.
Hear me out. Like we'll say something quick about it, but we'll just put it here straight away, right?
Yeah.
This film is awesome. I don't care if Stephen King fucking hates it. I understand his point. I do understand what he means. As a writer, I think if your character is not the character you wrote and all these things, but it's just a great film. And it's got some of the best visuals ever. I don't want to talk too much about Shining. I'm sick of talking about Shining.
Yeah, we've spoke about this film so much. Oh my God.
Are you a big fan of Shining, Jordan?
Yeah, it's in like my top 3 horror movies of all time. Absolutely love it. It scared the shit out of me when I was a kid. Like, I remember just feeling weird about it, and then I was watching it in a pitch black room, and then the screen just went black and it said Tuesday. I was like, someone's turning the lights on. But yeah, just it's pretty much perfect, isn't it? I mean, I love seeing Jack Torrance just go over the course of the film, like kind of like Arnie and Christine, where he's just going totally different as the movie goes on. The imagery by Stanley Kubrick's amazing.
Yep.
The sound design, where it's just like that, when that comes
so
on.
good.
Yeah, and you know what? Even that bit freaked me out as a kid. You know, where you first see The Shining, where Danny sort of to the caretaker, I forgot his name.
Scatman.
Scatman, but I
Scatman
can't remember.
Crothers.
Crothers, yeah. What's his? I don't know his
Crothers.
name or
Even when he just turns out, Holleran, is it?
could have been.
I think his name's
Yes.
Holleran in the movie.
Yeah.
And he just turns to him and goes, "How would you like some ice cream, Doc?" Even that used to freak me out as a kid. So, and I know he's not like a bad guy or nothing. It's just great. I love it.
It's because the whole film is unsettling, and it sets that up perfectly. And you get to a point in the film where everything just scares you. And funny enough, I was only saying to someone the other day, The Shining is one of the only films I remember as a kid not being able to finish. Now, I was watching all sorts, like, you know, Evil Dead, Nightmare on Elm Street, all the big horror movies, and none of them bothered me. And this is nowhere near as violent as any of those movies. It's got, I think, one kill in it.
Yeah.
But it's 10 times scarier than all of them, and such a low concept as well. It's just the imagery. It's like subliminal messages, you know, to terrify you. Everything's off, everything's uneven, and every time I watch it, I find something new. The last time I watched it, I noticed Jack Torrance's tie when he goes for the interview to work in the Overlook Hotel. He's got the maze on his tie. I'd never noticed that before.
Mm-hmm. All right.
You'll see a green tie, but if you look close, you can see all the passages like a maze, which is obviously great for telling for what's to come. He's getting an interview for this job, and it's like, well, this is where you're going to end up if you work here. Do you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Do you know? Do you ever watch Pitch Meetings? Have you ever seen it, Jordan?
I do, yeah.
No, I've never even heard of it.
Oh, I highly recommend it. A guy called Ryan George. He's fucking amazing. He basically pitches a film to a producer as if he's come up with a concept. Like she did Shining last week because it was Halloween. And even though he's taking the piss of it, it's obviously coming from a place of love. But it is so fun. It's only 5 minutes long. He takes the piss of like the maze, that the fact that you can never see the maze, and no matter what aerial shot you have of the hotel, it's never in there. Completely vanished.
Oh,
and, yeah, do you know as well? It's the carpet is actually in Toy Story. So the carpet,
yeah, of course it is.
Yeah, it's so iconic.
It's in Sid's house.
Is it Sid's house or is it? I thought
Yeah,
it was
Sid
house.
the bully. Yeah, Sid. No,
it's
it's
the
Sid's
other
house.
person's house. Anyway, but it's so iconic. Just a carpet, like who would have thought? And it's something so matter of fact. Who cares about a carpet? But it's become iconic.
Yeah,
my mate went to For the Love of Horror where you went the other day, and some woman had it on as a dress.
of course.
That's awesome. Right then, so next up, so we've put it on the top, obviously, is fucking classic. Shawshank Redemption. Now, it's obviously not one of his horrors, but it's got no supernatural elements at all. But it's one of his best. It's based on a short novella that was in one of his collections. And it's such a great film. I love it. Yeah, what do you think, Jordan?
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of like The Green Mile, sort of a prison movie, isn't it? But without the supernatural elements, I suppose. Yeah. Again, Frank Darabont doing what he does best in that little genre of his. There's so much to like about it. It's a great friendship story. You really get behind Tim Robbins' character. You want him to get out of this jail because you know he's an innocent man. And, you know, it's just so heartfelt, it is. Yeah. And the prison guards are total assholes, the prison warden and stuff. And there's a moment in this where you see Andy Dufresne's going to get out here because this guy's got an alibi for him, and next thing the warden just blows his head off. Yeah. I think he gets someone sniping him or something. I'm like, this guy's never getting out. And it really a good ending as well, where, you know, he gets the poster over the hole and stuff like that. It's just a great movie. There's so much I could say about it. But one thing I did want to say, I just always feel bad for that guy, you know, the one who gets out of prison and he doesn't know what to do with his life.
He hangs himself.
Like, I don't think the store manager likes me very much. I always feel like crying when he says that line, man.
Yeah, it's. I know like Family Guy took the piss this film, but it is the bit where he says, "Meet me by the tree that doesn't look quite right," or something like that. I'm thinking, "Fuck, that's some bad directions." I'd be like, "Oh, I can't remember what he said."
The tree doesn't look quite right.
Yeah, he says something like that. I can't remember the line now. And he gives him the most vaguest directions where to find him or the money. I can't remember what it was.
Yeah.
But
I have got one little problem with the movie. It's when, you know, when they get the beers on the roof and it's the sun's beaming down and they've been doing a hard day's work or whatever, and he goes, I just want some buds for me and my friends, and he brings them the beers up, and Andy Dufresne doesn't have one, and I'm like, you would never say no to that beer. Looks absolutely freezing cold. Like, you would never say no.
Yeah. I love this film. How do you get the poster back up? Oh, come on, it's the famous plot hole. How would he get that poster back up in that hole? Do you know about that sort of plot hole, Jordan?
No, I just thought he covered the hole off.
Have you never heard that? I didn't come up with this. It's a famous plot hole. So if you watch the film, somebody would have had to stick that poster back on, because it's not just dangling. It's a big hole with a poster over it. How would he ever get that blue tack back on?
So doesn't the poster cover the hole? No.
Yeah, it covers the hole, but you'd have to have somebody on the outside.
But he's in the hole, innit?
But isn't he only in the hole through the night, though, when the guards aren't looking? He's only digging away through the night, and then he gets back into his jail cell and puts it back up.
Yeah, but when he escapes at the end...
Oh, yeah. Oh, that's it.
Oh, you ruined the film from now, Jenks.
Bottom tier, I call bullshit.
That is bullshit.
Look, it's a classic film. I'm gonna have to stick it at the top. Personally, what do you think?
Yeah, I mean, I like the Green Mile better, but I still think it's on par with it, to be honest. So,
what about you, Curtis?
Yeah, top of the pile.
Fair enough. Okay,
we did miss one out though. We've got Stephen King's Night Flyer. I loved this one as a kid. I had on DVD. One of the scariest vampires ever. But I haven't seen it in a long time.
Well, there's a scene at the start of that where the guy from RoboCop's talking in an office and a boom mic comes down. And that's when I thought, oh, this film is shit. It's right at the start. You may not see it now because since DVDs, you don't see as much as you used to. Because I don't know if you've seen Predator. No, the first Predator. When Carl Weathers' his arms come off. In my VHS, you could see his arms tucked into his trousers, and then since it came on DVD, you can't see it anymore.
Well, it's like the T2 scene where they're driving through the storm drain type thing. I don't know what they're called in America.
Yeah.
And when he jumps off and lands, when I used to watch that on even DVD, maybe, you could see he was clearly a stunt man. But if you watch the newer versions now, they've put Annie's face on it. And you cannot tell the difference.
I watched it last night. It's on, the new remastered one is on Amazon Prime now. It's fucking awesome.
It's so good.
Right, so next up we have Salem's Lot. Now, again, I know it's a TV show. We're talking about the 1979 one. I'm going to kick us off. I fucking love this. This is one of my favourite Stephen King's. It's got my favourite monster ever, Kurt Barlow, the blue vampire. And I love it. I love the creepy scenes with the window and the tapping. Every little bit of this film. I stuck it off my daughter about a year ago, and she's 14. I thought she was going to think it was shit, but she loved it as well. It's an awesome film. Yeah, a TV show.
It's the easiest, Jenks? 3 hours maybe?
Yeah.
It's the easiest 3 hours ever. And like what I said about Silver Bullet, and these are the Stephen King movies that I rotate towards more, is when it captures that small town feel. And this has got that exact same vibe. You've got all these characters, they all know each other, they all live in this small town. I love that they call it the Lot. It just connects everything a bit more. And obviously, Kurt Barlow is one of the greatest villains ever. Tobe Hooper, one of the greatest directors of all time. Huge fan of this one.
Yeah.
I know, John, I think this is one you said you hadn't seen.
No, I have seen it. I'm just I've only seen it once, and I was quite late to it in life. I only watched it for the first time, like 3 or 4 years ago, I think.
Yeah.
Just never hit with me, to be honest. I don't know why. I've always wanted to go back and rewatch it. I was meant to do it when this remake came out, and I just couldn't find the 3 hours to do it, really. With having 2 kids at the minute, man. Oh.
Yeah,
but
I know.
It has its moments for me, especially the one where the vampire's knocking on the window and stuff. I know a lot of people think that scene's terrifying, and even now watching it, I was like, holy shit, that's a bit creepy. But I found it a little bit of a bit of a slog to get through, basically, just for me personally. But I did give it 3 out of 5 on Letterboxd, so I think it's okay.
Yeah.
See, everyone talks about the kid tapping on the window scene, or the scene that is a terrifying scene. I will say that. But the scene that always terrified me was Juliette Lewis's father. I think his name's Jeff Lewis, maybe. I can't remember. But there's the scene where he's in the rocking chair, and his head's down, and you can just about see his glowing eyes. That to me was always the scariest scene in the movie.
Yeah, look at me, look at me.
So good. There's something about rocking chairs as well. People on rocking chairs.
Yeah, it's just and that was a TV show, a mini series, and people just were blown away, like they'd never seen something so theatrical and creepy on TV before. You know, everything was quite cheap back then, and it was top notch. So I love this. I would put it at the top, but I'm guessing none of you will.
Are you mental? Top all day.
Oh, okay.
You know I love this one.
Sorry, John, you're outvoted.
Yeah, no. My opinion won't even matter on this one, so you might as well just put it there.
Right. Next up, we've got Pet Sematary, the original, obviously. John, you want to kick us off?
Yeah, I absolutely love this film. I watched it again when Pet Sematary Bloodlines came out. I wanted to review it on my channel, so I returned to it. But this was the first time returning to it after I'd had kids, and it was just even more impactful. Like, you know, when he's digging his kid up, and I had to question myself, going, "Would I do this or not?" Because I tried to put myself in his shoes, and I'd be like, "I'd miss my kids so much if it happened." So I don't know what I'd do. So it questions you as a father, really, a little bit, I suppose. But just a great setting with this house, and the neighbour Judd Crandall next door, the cemetery in the background. Great little idea, to have things coming back if you bury them there. One of the most infuriating animals in a horror movie in church. When he comes back, he's just a little pain in the ass. My biggest positive for this is
sometimes that is better. Sometimes dead is better, but I will teach you how to bring things back from the dead, and then tell you not to go there and do anything. Like, do you know what I mean?
It's hard to wrap your head around his character a little bit, isn't it? Because you're like, he's trying to help, but he knows what's going to happen. But I absolutely just love Judd Crandall, the way he says, "You want to stay away from that road."
Well, that's the thing. The road and the lorries becomes its own kind of character, its own sort of monster. Because you never hear that. It's like, and it's like, where the fuck did that come from?
Do you know? Go on, Jank. Sorry,
I was going to say as well, like, with like, what's great about Pet Sematary? You're saying about John that you dig your kid up and all this, but it's as if like the Pet Sematary has an impact on you. It's manipulating you as well. It's not just you making these moral things, and they touch on it a bit better in the remake, because when John Lithgow's character is asking him to take the cat, he can almost hear voices as if he doesn't want to do it, but there's some outside force manipulating him to tell him to bury the cat, which is slightly better than the original.
Yeah, it makes the cemetery more of a character as well itself, doesn't it?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I seen something online the other day, right? Do you know the band Rage Against the Machine? Well, someone's changed it to Cage Against the Machine.
Right.
How horrific is that?
Oh God.
Cage Against the Machine.
It's mad when the cage gets run over by that lorry.
Oh my God.
It's horrible. It's and when I first watched it, I didn't have any kids, so I didn't really care. But now I do care. It was more like, oh, the pity of the dog or the cat. Now it's like, I don't care.
My kid's terrifying enough.
Sorry.
My kid's terrifying enough with casting, let alone evil back from the dead, scabbing with it. Oh, and an Achilles heels. Oh, that's the worst scene. The Achilles heel.
God. That kind of like made that famous, the Achilles heel sort of slicing.
Horrific. Jenks' favourite.
Eli, I love the Langoliers. I still own the video of the miniseries, the 3-hour version. And believe it or not, I am currently reading the Langoliers now. Not now this minute, but it's so easy. It's such a good book. It's a novella. It was in one of those collections, but highly recommend it. I haven't
Eli,
seen
you
it.
know, if it was up to me, I'd have all his trashy adaptations up there. Night Flyer, Langoliers, all of them.
You haven't seen Langoliers, have you, Kurt?
No, I haven't, no.
No.
No, I haven't.
Yeah, it's a forgotten one. I haven't seen Storm of the Century. It's a great plot. There's a storm and they're stuck in this community centre, I think, and there's a murder, and they're trying to solve the murder, and they're all stuck. They can't leave. It's a really good concept. Right. So, Pet Sematary, what do you think? I think
Dirty Bird.
Dirty Bird for me as well, I'd say.
Yeah,
It's almost one of his best. It misses out by inches for me.
Yeah,
Agree, Jordan?
yeah.
Cool.
The woman who directed it done the second one as well, didn't she? I believe.
Mary Lambert.
Yeah.
Yes, it's it felt a bit more made for TV, the second one, even though it had some good parts, isn't it?
Yeah. Mad at the thought of them movies.
Say it again, sorry.
It's mad to me that there's 4 Pet Sematary movies out now.
Yeah, I know.
Right, we've got the remake of it. I can't remember. Is it Machete?
Machete.
Something like that. Yeah, the CGI king. Love CGI too much in horror.
Yeah.
I really, really like part 1 of it, chapter 1. It's really creepy. Yes, there are elements of maybe a bit too much CGI, but I think who plays it now? I've forgotten his name now. It's one of the brothers.
Bill Skarsgård.
Bill Skarsgård. He is amazing. He's got a bit of a Winnie the Pooh / Scooby-Doo voice, but he's still very, very creepy. And that scene at the start, the classic drain scene, it's so brutal. It's really hard to watch. But I love this. I'm a big fan.
Do you know, I had a moment of madness when this one came out because this is probably the most anticipated, the most anticipation I've ever had for a movie, right? Obviously, being a big fan of the original one, and I thought this one looked amazing. And I was abroad when it came out, and on my way back from holiday, I got dropped off to the cinema on my own, watched it, and then I booked a tattoo a week later. Got a massive Bill Skarsgård Pennywise tattoo, right? I don't regret it now, but it's the last time I've watched a movie and just gone, I'm going to get a tattoo instantly. It's just something you shouldn't do. But it's aged well. It's still one I go back to all the time. Now, I'm not a huge fan of part 2. I think it's still a decent sequel, but the 2017 I do think it's a masterpiece. Like you said, Jenks, there's a bit too much CGI in it. I don't like the painting monster. I don't know if it's got a name. The painting with the fucking long face. Yeah. That's the only bit where I go, oh God, it's like that statue in the second one in broad daylight.
The lumberjack thing.
The lumberjack, man.
Shit.
But I say that's the only scene in the first one where I go like, oh fucking hell, like, shit. But yeah, I'm a huge fan of 2017 It.
Yeah, what do you think, Jordan?
I've only ever seen this once at the cinema, and since The Dark Knight, this was my most anticipated film since The Dark Knight. Like, I was just like, I need to go and see this. I love the It miniseries so much. And I think it's more of a me problem, this, but I think I compared it too much to that miniseries. And when I first seen the first bit of CGI, I was like, oh no, we're not going there, are we? And there's a lot of it in the movie, especially when Bill Skarsgård as well, when he's going woo with his head and his head's moving everywhere. That kind of takes me out the film a little bit. But I do love the characters. I love all the kids in the movie. Like, they're all great together. I love all the little other things that were in this one that weren't in the miniseries from the book. And Bill Skarsgård is pretty good in it.
Yeah, and I think the director, I didn't like Mama, and I thought that was way too much CGI as well. I think he just loves it. Obviously,
he was built to direct the Flash, wasn't he?
Yeah, that was
the ideal candidate, like.
Yeah, that was just CGI-ville, wasn't it? It was too much. I wouldn't get excited about anything he's doing, to be honest, because I think Mama was the only one I knew of him. I thought, well, I didn't like Mama, but I'll give him a chance. I loved it, part 1. Part 2, like we said before, was I think it was quite dog shit. I've never watched it again. In fact, I remember seeing a little bit of clip, and I forgot about the scene in the second one where you got the fortune cookies and the little CGI monsters come out. I go, oh, for fuck's sake, like, ridiculous.
I remember that second one as well. Like, I think someone turns up and like it's like a little wink to the audience, like we've got a good ending here. I think Stephen King himself might have come in the movie and said, "Oh,
Yeah.
the ending's a dog shit" or something,
Yes.
something like that.
He's working
Because
in a shop.
everyone's got a problem with the miniseries ending, haven't they? And I thought this ending was worse with the clown's head on the spider. I was like, "What's going on?"
Yeah, and do you know what annoyed me as well is that I can't remember completely. I could be wrong, but I'm sure they killed him the same way they did as kids, as grown-ups. I'm thinking, why is he more dead now than he was 30 years ago?
Yeah.
I think the
Right.
circus scene in part 2 was really good though. At the opening scene, I thought that was just
So good, so creepy.
Which
Yeah.
sorry, which in part 2?
Yeah, the circus at the start of part 2. It's like
Carnival, like.
yeah, I think it's the second chapter in the book as well. But yeah, when I opened with that, I was like, "Oh, we're in for a good time here," and then it kind of just went downhill.
Well, answer me this then, right? Because I can't remember why, but he's a clown because he's attacking the kids. So why is he a clown when that guy gets thrown in the river at the start?
I've told you this, Jags. It is simply fan service.
Well, I
They
know
can't
that,
they
I'm
can't
just saying.
open up they can't open up an It movie and not have Pennywise in it.
That's what I mean. But why create a rule and then break their own rule? You know?
Is it
No,
just
of course, I
default
get
mode?
that.
It might
Say
just be. Is it just default mode? I don't know.
I don't know. Yeah, maybe he just loves being it. I don't know. Right. So where are we putting this then? I'd say
I'd put it at the top, obviously.
I'd put a Dirty Bird personally.
I would probably go with They All Float.
Oh, okay. So
It's
But
got to
that's
go
just me.
Dirty Bird then. That's bang in the middle of the three of us.
yes.
Yeah, okay. I know I'm in the minority with that because I know a lot
No.
of people go
Well,
with it. But
the thing is, John, all these are good films, and it's just tiny little margins between each one. I'd say.
I've just noticed Carrie isn't on the list. What's going on, Janks?
Oh yeah. Oh, how did that happen? Give me a second.
Shocking.
Talk amongst yourselves.
I must admit, when we were doing this list, I thought, are people going to complain that Carrie isn't on there?
Well, I to be honest, I forgot.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know why. Hang on.
God, I love Carrie.
Give me. You talk. I can't see you at the moment. I'm on a different screen, so I'm obviously not the remake. I thought I did.
And it's just been announced as well that Mike Flanagan is producing a Carrie series for Amazon. He's a busy man, so he's announced Exorcist. He's doing the Carrie series. I don't think he's directing it, but he's producing it. And he's got Life for Chuck coming out. There's something else as well that he's doing or connected to. He obviously had VHS Beyond as well. He obviously wrote Kate Siegel's segment that she directed.
Yeah. Did you
That
like
guy does
VHS
not
Beyond? I
stop
thought it was quite
working.
good, to be honest.
What's quite good.
I was going to say, I thought that VHS Beyond was quite good, to be honest.
Oh, I loved it. I give it 4 stars.
Yeah.
There was only one segment on there that I thought was weak, and it was the one set in India. I thought that was by far the weakest segment.
Yeah, I
know,
didn't
Jenks-
mind that one, to be honest.
It didn't do anything for me. It was they go to the set. She's some sort of robot. She kills everyone, and it finishes. Now, I always say, right, I love the essence of VHS, and it's just about the way it looks, and that's exactly what that episode was. But for some reason, it didn't connect with me. Like,
Yeah, that's why I tend to not like a lot of them. They tend to just be monster of the week. A big monster comes
Yeah.
and kills everybody, and it looks cool, but it's just no substance. Right, so next one up, we've got 1408. It's based on a very, very short Stephen King story, and it stars John Cusack, and he's stuck in a hotel room, the most haunted room ever, and he's just trying to see if ghosts exist. And it's fucking creepy. It's not one of his most popular ones, but I think it's become a bit of a cult hit since its release. You know, I think it came out about 15 years ago, maybe.
yeah, I think it dropped in Netflix's top 10 not that long ago.
Yeah.
So it's had a bit of a resurgence. Now, I loved this one when it came out. Like you said, James, very scary. It's one of those movies. I know I say this a lot. That me and my mates would get together and watch. Be
Tattoo?
scared together.
John
not a tattoo,
Cusack,
actually.
tattoo on your chest.
Nah, Sam Jackson. But I haven't gone back to it in years. Now, it's over 10 years since I've seen this one. For some reason, I loved it when I was young. I've never gone back to it. It's been over 10 years since I've seen it. So I can't say too much about it. I remember some key scenes, but that's about it.
What about you, Jordan?
Yeah, I'm kind of the same as Kurt. I haven't seen this movie for about 10, 12 years or something. And I tried to watch it last night and I couldn't find it anywhere. And was I looking in the wrong places? Is it on Netflix? Because I went on Letterboxd and it said where to watch, and it was just like, oh no, you can only buy it anywhere and stuff. I ended up watching The Running Man instead. I'm finishing it off today because I fell asleep halfway through. But I just never really liked this film, to be honest. It started off well, a good little concept and stuff. And then all the mind-bendy stuff kind of just didn't really do it for me. So I wasn't a big fan of it, to be honest. And sorry, I couldn't refresh myself this week with this one.
Oh, listen, don't feel bad. I didn't even watch Silver Bullet.
Yeah, I got all the silver bullet. Like.
Okay, so I would have put it in the bottom anyway because I do like this, but it's definitely not a classic. So I'm guessing that's where it's going to go.
Yeah,
that's where I'd probably put it.
Yeah, fair enough. Okay, next up, you're gonna love this Creep Show, Curtis.
Now, Jegs, I'm not taking anything lower than Here's Johnny. I will fight to the death, right, to get this one at the top. Yeah, you know I'm a massive fan of this one. This is one of the all-time greats. It is the best anthology movie. You've got George Romero and Stephen King teaming up to do a homage to the classics, Tales from the Crypt comics. And I just absolutely love this one. You've got Tom Savini, you've got Adrian Barbeau, you've got Tom Atkins, you've got Joe Hill, Stephen King's son as a young boy. It is just horror overload. Every segment is great. And it's just a perfect horror movie. You know, if you love George Romero, if you love horror and classic 80s horror, this is by far the definitive horror. Now, if someone was getting into horror and they wanted to delve into the 80s, this would be the first movie I would recommend. I'm not taking anything less than Here's Johnny.
I like this a lot. I used to love it as a kid. I don't love it as much as you. I think I might have owned it on VHS. I've never liked the second one, apart from one segment. But this is quite a cool movie. I think my favourite segment is probably the Leslie Nielsen one. It's the first one with Ted Danson. They get buried.
Something to tide you over.
Yes. But it doesn't have much of a plot. But all the plots tend to be revenge. You know? Something happens, they come back as a zombie. But yeah, I do like this. I wouldn't say it's a masterpiece, though.
Well, when you say masterpiece, there's different categories of masterpiece. Now, the type of film it is. No, that is right.
What are you talking about?
Right, stop. You can categorize movies as different types of masterpieces. Now, if you like horror movies and you like this type of film, it's the best of its kind. So you can say Shawshank's a masterpiece and that's overall a movie, but you can't put Creepshow up against Shawshank because it wasn't made to go up against Shawshank, but it was made to go up against other horror movies and compared to all the rest of them.
Yeah, but you could.
This is an absolute masterpiece.
Yeah, but you could put Exorcist up against Shawshank, and they both would be masterpieces. You can't put Creepshow up.
Again, it's different. That's a proper big mainstream movie. I'm sure someone will understand what I'm saying. Hopefully, someone understands what I'm trying to say here.
A masterpiece of the subgenre, is that what you're trying to say? Like the anthology?
Not just anthology, just of like 80s horror or just horror in general, and not just mainstream movies. Like
it's definitely a masterpiece compared to like VHS or something.
I love Creepshow, top tier 100%. Creepshow, top tier film.
What do you think of Creepshow, Jordan?
Surprisingly, only seen this one once. I've seen Creepshow 2 about 5 times though. I did like it. I did like it, especially the Leslie Nielsen one. I like the one with Stephen King where he's got all them plants growing up and stuff like that. Yeah, it's fine. I enjoyed it. I really like the animation as well with the actual creep himself and stuff like that, where it goes into the comic book sort of thing.
Yeah, it's awesome.
Yeah, it's decent. I do enjoy it. I just don't probably love it as much as yourself, Curtis, but probably need to give it another. I need to give it another go, to be honest.
I'd say they all float. It's a good movie, but it's not the best. What about you?
Oh, I'm going to upset Curtis here if I say the same.
No upsetting you, boys. All jokes aside, if there's 2 against 1. But as long as everyone knows, right? If someone's jumped in after we've rated it and they go, "What the fuck is Creepshow doing down there?" I got nothing to do with it.
There's probably people watching now in the comments saying like, Jenks and Jordan, what are you playing at? I would probably put it next to the Dead Zone there because it's looking kind of alone on its own.
I reckon, yeah, we're going to get kicked off and we'd just be me and you doing our own podcast, Jordan. And they'll be like, I know where it happened. It was this, they did this live show a few weeks ago.
Just kicked us off, so we'll do what.
Yeah. What do you think, John? It's all down to you now.
I would probably go and They All Float myself, to be honest. Sorry.
Hang on. All float. Sorry, Kurt.
Right. Quick one. Retro Hawk. Hiya, mate. How you doing? He's got paired next to his name again. He seems to be coming back in the comments here with other answers.
Yeah.
Can you tell us how you've come in and it says paired? I'd be forever grateful.
Yeah. Can I just read a couple of these quickly? So you got John. As long as Cell isn't included, but yes, Cell is shit.
Early video, Jenks. One of our first videos, we did the worst Stephen King adaptations.
I've read the book and I've seen the film, and somehow they're both shit, and the film is not as shit as the book, but still shit. They improved. Because there's actually flying zombies in the book. I shit you not. It's absolute trash.
I've never seen Phil.
Well, no, there's no flying zombies in the film. They took that bit out. In the book, it's so bad. Davy Dredd,
hell of a shout, Davy Dredd, mate. Hell of a shout.
Carrie, The Shining, Christina Misery, my favourite. Yes, definitely. Eli, Maxim Overdrive, Sleepwalkers, Tales from the Dark Side, the movies, Children of the Corn. I can't remember. I saw Children of the Corn very young.
Yeah, same.
Now, Lawnmower Man. He's took his name off that film.
I'm not listening to this story again. All right, I've heard this story a million times.
Which
I've never heard it.
With Stephen King taking his name out of it, right?
Basically, it's they just took the title and made a film that's got nothing to do with the short story of Stephen King wrote, not even remotely. And Stephen King sued them, and they had to remove his name from any sort of Lawnmower Man films.
Why would you do that? Why would you why did you take the name and change the whole thing?
Well, I think at the time in the 90s, Stephen King's something was just a really good selling point.
Yeah, of course.
Oh, you got a fan, yeah, Eli. Love Creepshow.
Eli's always on my side. Come on.
Yes.
The offer's still there, Eli, to join me on a podcast.
Retro Hawk. All right, lads. All right, buddy. Creepshow is the one.
There was one film I was really dying to throw in here. It's like an honourable mention, but I don't know if you used to have seen it. Sometimes They Come Back.
Yes, I've seen that one. Yeah. And sometimes they come back again.
And I'm sure there's a third one.
Yeah, I think there is 3 of them actually. Yeah, but I've never seen it. I've only seen the original. It's quite creepy. Good little story.
Yeah. Good monster as well.
Yeah, sometimes they come back. Sometimes they come back again. And I'm sure there's sometimes they always come back. Something like that.
Sometimes they come back for more, is it?
Oh, that could be it, yeah.
Maybe.
I think they run out of ideas by then. Like, do you know, let's
right, boys, can you get
Sometimes they come back for more and more.
Get it over with. Get Creepshow up on the board.
Right, okay. I'm going to say They All Float. I thought we said
yeah,
that,
we've already said, man. Get it up there.
Look, if I wasn't being so nice, I would have put it at the bottom. So be glad.
Oh, thank you so much, Jenks. Thank you.
Do you know, right?
Thanks so much.
I've done the film Lawnmower Man. I really like it. I know everybody slags it off. I think it's a great film. With
is it on the list? I can't see it.
No, it's not.
So why are we talking about it then?
Because they mentioned
still talking about Lawnmower Man.
See, this is what I got to put up with. He's really bitter now just because of Creepshow.
Just wants to get the video over with because Creepshow is there.
Jordan goes to message me later on Instagram and I've blocked him.
Sometimes they come back again and again. Right, so next up we've got Stand By Me, another, it's Rob Reiner.
Rob Reiner?
Yeah, with the guy who did Misery. And it's one of his short stories or novellas. And it's a classic. It was called The Baldy, the story was. It's absolutely great. It's, again, another drama that it connects with people better than some of the horror films.
Yeah, of course.
I love this film.
This one sold the dream of going on an adventure with your friends, unlike any other movie.
Yeah.
Every time you watch this movie, you were always jealous you didn't live where they were living. Now, they all had shitty lives, crap parents and shit lives, but when those guys were together and they were going on an adventure, there's nothing you wanted more other than being covered in leeches, which would be my worst nightmare.
Yes. Yeah.
But this is one of the greatest Stephen King adaptations ever. I don't know how you feel about this one, Jod.
Yeah, just a complete comfort movie. I can throw this on any time. I mean, I went out on a heavy drinking session a few months ago, and I had a hangover, and I went, you know what make me feel better now? Stand By Me. And I just threw that on. Oh, man, it's just wonderful.
Can I ask you one thing, Jod? Do you recognise the quote, "Sick and boy"?
I recognise it off this film.
Yes, all right. That's all I needed to know.
Well,
We were saying in the back room, one of the categories should be sick and boy, and Jenkins like, well, if I don't know that quote, no one else is going to know it. So I just wanted to clarify that's all. That Jenkins is the one that doesn't know anything.
Yeah, Milo Pressman says it, doesn't he? The junkyard man.
Yeah, that's it.
I just was looking for more mainstream ones, rather than like really like hard.
Of course, I know.
Right. Yes, this is a classic. I probably put it between either Dirty Bird or Here's Johnny, but I'm guessing you two guys are going to put it on the top.
Top list. Yeah.
Jordan?
Yeah.
Fair enough. Okay, so next up, we've got Gerald's Game. Now, this came from nowhere. Mike Flanagan won again. And I love this. The concept is simple. They're a married couple struggling, and they go back to rekindle their love. He ties her to the bed, and he has a heart attack and dies, and she's stuck there. It's such a great concept. I love it, apart from the ending. I absolutely love it. I think it's what made me fall in love with sort of Mike Flanagan. I love the guy. He's an amazing horror director.
Yeah, of course. This is a top class adaptation. I remember starting to read the book when I was really young. I was starting to get into like reading, and I can remember I maybe got like 30 pages in, and I was like, I probably shouldn't be reading this one. Didn't quite understand what was going on. Felt a bit too dirty for me, and that's what it is. It's built on that. Yeah. But yeah, this is one of the best things Mike Flanagan's done. It's horrible. It's horrendous. It's got a horrible backstory. It's just quite a nasty film to watch, and it just doesn't let go. As soon as she's tied up in that bed and her partner passes, it's just a horrible movie. Now, I showed this one to my girlfriend, and I've shown her a lot of bad shit now, and this is the one that she was like, I didn't like it, not because it was a bad film, just because of how nasty the subject matter is. I think it's the first one I showed her where she was like, no, that's too much for me. Especially the hand as well, the hand scene.
And then you took her to see Terrifier 3.
Yeah. but
what?
That's mindless gore. This is psychological. Do you know what I mean? And it's real.
I know what you're saying, because although like things in Terrifier 3 were horrible, like the scene in Misery is just as horrible, even though it's barely violent.
Grounded.
Yes, grounded.
Yeah.
What do you think of this? And I think it's on your list.
Yeah, it was in my top 10. One of the best things to come out of Netflix, I think, really.
Yeah.
It's just a freaky film, isn't it? Like, she's tied to the bed, it's a great concept and stuff, and then there's seems like something keeps coming in the room, later on in the movie, and it's kind of like Stephen King adding something else to it there. Yes. It's like a person.
The tall man, isn't it?
Yeah.
And
teeth and stuff, doesn't he?
Yeah, and for Stephen King to add that into an already mad situation just shows how genius he is to me. I love this film. I thought it was great.
I didn't like the ending. I would have rather it be a bit more obscure of was the man in her head. I didn't like there was a court case and stuff, and I thought, this is too much, because I know this part of the book, and a lot of people didn't like that ending, and Mike Flanagan apparently said that he was under a lot of pressure whether to include it or not. And I probably think it was the wrong call. It didn't need it, and it made the running time a bit too long. It didn't need to be long. It's a simple story, but if you pretend that didn't happen, the film is near perfect.
Yeah, of course. Right, where are we putting it, boys?
Man, the ending, to be honest, but
yeah. Where are you going to put? Where were you? What do you think? And I just call you Gerald then, John.
I'm not that kinky. even though I loved the movie and stuff, I'd probably put it still in They All Float.
I
think
agree with you, mate.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's more of an underrated Stephen
Yeah.
King film, I think.
I agree with you
I
completely.
really like it. I can't put it in the same list as Silver Bullet did, Christine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fair enough. Yeah,
It's the way
good
it
call.
goes, isn't it?
Right, next, I've got 3 left then. Doctor Sleep. Do you want to kick us off, Jordan?
Yeah, probably not the best person to kick it off, actually. Like, again, I've only seen this one once at the cinema. I did like it. I thought it was a pretty decent sequel. I remember my dad told me about the Doctor Sleep book, and he was like, "Oh, it's a sequel to The Shining, where this kid's got like the greatest Shining, and these circus folk are coming to sort of suck it all out of it." And I was like, "That sounds amazing." Totally different sort of sequel to the Overlook Hotel isolation story. I thought Rebecca Ferguson was fantastic in this film.
So good.
Yeah, one of the most skin crawling scenes where the kid goes, "Are you gonna hurt me?" And she just goes, "Yes." Like, and you're like,
Yeah.
Oh, the little boy when she's
That's
it's horrible.
Is horrific.
And
Yeah, that's a really hard scene.
loved the little throwback in the third act, going back to the Overlook and stuff like that. But for some reason, I just thought it was a good 7 out of 10 movie. It's one of them I probably need to go back to. But I did like a lot of it.
For me, I really liked it. I can see the difficulty because it was a sequel to the Shining book and the film. But in the book of the Shining, the hotel gets blown up, and obviously in the film it doesn't. So he's torn between which one does he follow.
Because he had to convince Stephen King, didn't he, to make a sequel to Stanley Kubrick's The Shining, and somehow he agreed to it.
I think the problem I had, it was a bit too much fan service for me going back to the hotel. I understand why they did it because it's a cool place to end, but I didn't understand why they couldn't have just, Rebecca Ferguson's character wasn't indestructible. You could just shoot her, so you didn't have to lure her to this place because the only place you could kill her is like you could kill her anywhere. You could kill her in a service station,
Yeah, I gotta say, boys, I am a huge fan of this. I'm a huge fan of this one. I know a lot of people complain about the fan service in this one. I don't care. I love The Shining. I love that he goes back to the Overlook. I love all the subtle hints that go back to the original one. What's his name again now?
Ewan McGregor.
No, E.T.
Oh,
He's in all Mike Flanagan's
Steve
stuff.
Thomas Howell, no?
Yeah,
No.
Thomas Howell. Oh,
No,
what's his name? Yeah, he's in all of his Flanagans.
yeah, he's in all of them.
I always-
can't remember. I can't remember his name now, but
Got three names in there. It's one of those.
yeah,
Not the guy in the book, is it? Who's the mask guy?
He plays Jack Torrance in this, and oh my god, they knocked it out of the park with the makeup. I genuinely think this is a perfect movie. I think it's probably one of the best things that Mike Flanagan's done. I think once it starts, it doesn't let up, and like I said, I love that finale in the Overlook Hotel. I would put this one at Here's Johnny. It's easily one of my favourite adaptations.
Okay, I would stick this in Dirty Bird personally, but I wouldn't argue there with Here's Johnny.
For me, I'd probably go in They All Float. So it's only because I've seen the movie once. I really need to return to it. And I picked the 4K up meaning to as well.
So
Dirty Bird it is, boys.
Dirty Bird, that's fair enough. That's a good spot. Nothing wrong with that. Let me just read a couple. There's one here for you, Jordan. You might like. Not Jordan, Curtis.
Have you seen Lucio Fulci's Cat in the Brain? I have. I own it on Blu-ray. There isn't a Lucio Fulci movie I haven't seen. I love that guy. The Godfather of Gore. And yeah, that's one of his nastier ones. Cracking film, Eli. Thomas Henry, man.
Thomas Henry. Yes.
Because he was in Pet Sematary Bloodlines.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
He's Elliot from E.T. and he's also in the Hill, Haunted Hill.
He's in all of them. All of them.
Yes, I knew it was something like that. Right, next one up, we've got Cujo. Last two now. I've seen this a few times back in the 80s. I haven't done my homework for this one. I do remember loving it. I like low concept films where they're stuck in one place. And this does it really well. It's really creepy. The dog is fucking horrible. Really, really aggressive and horrible. But it's not one I never bought it on VHS. I just used to watch it when it was on TV and never read the book. So, but it is a classic.
Yeah, you know me, Jenks. I'm a huge fan of Cujo. And like you, this is one I go back to a lot. My only problem with the movie is that I know the book delves into her relationship with her husband. So a lot of the book is based there, but I do feel like they could have skimmed a lot of that off the movie. On rewatches, I do feel myself trying to get past that as quick as I can, even though you can't get past it quicker. But I'm wishing the start of the movie away to get to the end where they're actually stuck in the car at the farm. But Dee Wallace is outstanding in this movie. She puts in such a great performance. She had PTSD after the movie. She had to take a break from acting because of the trauma she went through. Now, I've said this on a previous podcast, but she's been attacked by a dog for 10 hours a day, and your brain doesn't know that's not real. So she was a mess after this film, and you can see it in her performance. It's such a nasty, dirty, and grimy movie. This is by far one of my favourite Stephen King adaptations.
Yeah, it's awesome. What about you, Jordan?
Yeah, I watched it again this week. Really enjoyed this one. I think I like the way half the film is sort of in the town, and then the second half's just like an isolation thing where they can't get away. The dog looks worse and worse as the movie goes on, even more rabid, which is good. It's a pain in the ass, this dog. I mean, every time she goes to get out the car, it's there watching her, and you're just thinking, how are they going to get out this situation? And again, as a father now, I really felt bad for the kid. I really felt sorry for him. Dee Wallace was excellent. I agree with Curtis a little bit with the writing. I wish that would have sort of come together a little bit more with the relation stuff and stuff. And you see the father racing home at the end, and I don't think he even does anything, to be honest. I think she gets out of it all herself.
That's my problem with the film, is that I know it's good to build up characters. You've got character development, but I don't feel like that story drives the plot forward. Someone may correct me and look into it a bit more. But for me, it's a movie about a mother protecting her child and doing whatever it takes to protect her child. And she's stuck in a shit situation. But there's so many mind-blowing scenes, especially for the time it was made. I don't think it's got particularly a big budget. It looks like a low-concept movie. But there's so many scenes where I don't know how they controlled that dog as well as they did. He's jumping through the windows when he attacks the farmer's friend and he rips through the door. Now, I know some of it was filmed with a man in a suit, very rarely, only when, you had like mouth around the neck sort of stuff. But you can see the majority of this film, they've used dogs. I think they used about 5 different dogs. But I do feel like this is one of the better horror movies out there. I love it.
Directed as well. It must be a nightmare working with animals.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, 100%.
And kids. Your kids and animals.
Both there,
and when he's got all that green gunk on him.
Where's it going in, guys? I'm going to stick it in
me personally, it's one of my favourite adaptations. So I would put it on Here's Johnny for me.
Really? Oh, okay.
Absolutely. If you love it, you love it.
This is a hard one. I'd probably go They All Float as well myself. I do really like it, though. It's bordering on Dirty Bird, to be honest.
Yeah.
Go Dirty Bird. Meet in the middle,
okay.
John.
Okay, just because I let you down with Creepshow, we'll go.
Yes.
All is forgiven, is there? Yeah. Right.
Wait,
my go.
Let me read this one quick. My guys, I'm going to stump you one of these days, Lolly. Truly go, master. You just keep trying, Eli. You keep trying.
Right, we got one left. My God, we've been on for almost 2 hours.
Yeah.
It's the longest one we've done. Right, so last one, we've got Carrie. Now, it's a classic. I don't know why I forgot about this. I was on my radar, but I must have forgotten to download the image. Obviously, do you want to kick us off, Kurt?
Yeah, of course. Carrie is one of my favourite movies of all time. I love Brian De Palma. I think it's one of his best movies. Now, this one, right, boys, I'm genuinely not taking anything less. Sissy Spacek in this movie is one of the best horror performances ever. She plays it perfect. She's really pretty, but somehow she looks the part. Unlike Chloe Grace Moretz, you would never believe it at all. But Sissy Spacek knocks this one out of the park. I think it was made in 76 maybe.
Brian De Palma is such a good director.
Oh my God, I love Brian De Palma. But yeah, this is, I feel like this is like the definitive Stephen King adaptation.
It's his first book as well.
Yeah.
I really like this film. It's a classic. It's odd because the cover has got the end. She's covered in blood.
Yeah, I know,
Giving
I
away
know.
the plot. It's like having a Bruce Willis like as a floating ghost in the cover of Sixth Sense. They go, "Ooh."
Do you know like the Casper logo now? We got Casper and then Casper over it.
You'll never guess the twist. It's a great film. It's a strange one because it's so entertaining, yet it hasn't got much of a plot, really. She can move things around and she has revenge on everybody. It's like a proper back of a napkin plot line, but it works so well, you know?
It's the way they do it as well, and it's the build up to that point. By the time you get to the prom and everything kicks off, you fully believe that would happen and everything is set up perfectly. And it is just the most horrendous thing you can do to someone. Now, doing it with fake blood would be horrible, but to get actual pig's blood is horrific. It's the worst nightmare. It's being publicly embarrassed. Yeah. It's everyone's worst fear, and being on such a big stage at that time in your life as well, being a teenager at your prom. And what's worse about it is that she starts to feel like the prom queen. Everyone's treating her great, and you know she wins prom queen, and you can see that sparkle in her eye, and then it all just comes crashing down. Yeah, it's one that really affects you every single time you watch it. You feel that finale. It's great.
Yeah, I agree. What about you, Jordan?
Yeah, I really like the film. You really do feel sorry for Sissy Spacek at the end of this one. And you actually want her to get revenge. You just like, you go for it. You're cheering her on a little bit.
You go for it, girl. Yeah. I love that.
And her mother, oh my God, her mother's a pain in the ass. But great performance, I will say that. I really enjoyed this one. It's iconic.
Do you know, a little fun fact for you as well. The ending to this movie is very iconic, right? Where you've got the grave and her hand comes out of the grave. Now, Friday the 13th, the original one, part 1, they did the finale of that one just because of how popular the finale of Carrie was. Where
very similar.
She's in the lake and Jason comes out. That is all because of Carrie.
And it turns out to be basically a dream as well in Friday the 13th.
Well, not to go too off topic, but I really wish that movie just ended when Jason pulled it up. It's like, just ended there. Perfect.
I think Carrie would have been better if Freddy's glove came out of the grave instead. But just completely left field.
They should have made black pudding first.
So I'm going to, because it's a classic, even though like I prefer a lot of these, I'm going to stick it at the top because it's a classic and deserves to go there. Day. What about you, Jordan?
Yeah, go on then.
Go on then. Go get him, girl.
Right, so we always like to do a top 10, but it's, I don't know, we just...
Nah, we don't need to do a top 10.
Nah, look, we got a top 7 there. That's close enough. Are you? Should we take some questions, or should we need to wrap it up?
We're getting late. I got work in the morning.
We're taking your time a lot.
People have been very kind. We've had about the same viewers all video. They've stuck with us for 2 hours.
And we don't want to take any more of your time, John, because we really appreciate it.
I've really enjoyed it.
The only thing I would say, I know you spoke about it a bit at the start, mate, but there wasn't many people on. If you want to give your channel as a quick plug, pal.
Yeah, basically I've got one called MOVIE SQUIRM, which is basically just physical media. I was doing a lot on there, but it's basically just physical media based now, and I do what I've been watching at the end of the month on there. But my other one, MOVIE SQUIRM, is just basically all horror. I do top 10s, rankings, reviews of old and new movies. Done one the other day about Halloween's hot takes and me reacting to them and stuff like that. So do all kinds on there. All horror related.
Awesome. Well, I'll put the link in our description. It's been awesome having you on, mate.
It's been a good crack, yeah.
Yeah, it's been a good laugh. And I don't know if anyone understood what we were talking about. We got a Welsh guy and a Liverpudlian. But we'll try our best. Really appreciate it, pal. Everyone who wrote some comments, I really appreciate it. Obviously, we say it every week, but we couldn't do this without you guys. And it's getting a little bit more popular every week, I think, isn't it, Kurt?
Yeah, definitely. We can see the numbers slowly starting to rise now. I think this is our 10th video. So it's nice that we're going up and not down. And like I say all the time, it's always the same faces in the comments. So guys, we really appreciate all of you. Thank you so much for jumping on. And Jod, you, like we said, you've been absolutely top class, pal. We'd love to come on your channel at some point to do a video, and you're more than welcome back on this channel anytime.
Yeah.
Definitely get you on, man. Definitely, we'll sort something. I've got you on Instagram and stuff.
Awesome. Right.
Awesome.
Right. Have a good night, everybody, and we'll catch you on the next one. Cheers, guys.
Cheers, guys.
Bye.